Welcome back, everybody.
Oh, the 3 dots.
To the beginner's guide. And I feel like I know where it's coming from with that name now. If you
It's the
want
puzzle again.
Nope.
With the exact same solution as the last time.
Don't you lie to me.
If you want to do something, you know, you gotta start from somewhere. So just do it.
There's still no clear indication
I'm not gonna
of what
use
makes
the
this
Shia
puzzle
LaBeouf
so
picture.
special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
I feel like this is like one person's like beginnings to something greater. Like he may have thought it was crap, but did you see?
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the buttons on your gamepad to respond.
Wow, there's everything here. There was an enormous prison. I spent hours in it. That's the world above. You've been there. Now this is important. Do you have to get through the puzzle with 2 doors and switches? I don't know. You're driving. Choose one. Yes, I did. It was literally the last thing I did before coming in here. Again, perfect! Now please, tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. Oh no, but I do. We do. We need to get there. Do you understand? It is the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. I promise you, there is nothing I want more. Is that like a furnace there?
That's kind of what it looks like.
Interesting. And more people. Hello, Loop. Hello, how did you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? Yeah, no, I've been right here this entire time. I suggest you go see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved, but you can sit in the black space in the middle. Why would I sit in the black space? Well, it's plenty peaceful. It may not seem that way at first, but you'll come to think so in time. Eventually. Okay.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
And it's the dudes again.
That's what I was waiting for.
No, it looks like we're outside.
More like a schoolyard.
It's like a campus.
This reminds me
It's
of
a
the Silent
lamppost.
Hill.
Okay,
Cool.
I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed so far. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by
What is
other
this,
players.
Dark Souls or the Wii?
As I've seen, I think there's a game like this out there already. Nice room. Not.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in
shit.
Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level. And it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy trying to get his attention. I was over enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra.
I'm the king of the world! Sorry.
Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played. But it's ironic, isn't it, that in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Huh.
Ooh.
Abstract art? Huh. Hey, don't talk to me that way. So he wrote all these messages.
Yep. Apparently.
I wonder what exactly he was feeling when he made this game. Ethical. Are you gonna do it?
You can't.
Oh, invisible wall. Huh. I'm more or less in awe. Like, I don't even have words to say right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm just like...
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
I was supposed to say, you can hear the whispering, right?
What whisper?
Don't screw with me.
Yeah.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on. And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Typewriter?
How do you leave notes? Dude.
Tons of typewriters.
Are you there? Please say something. It could be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much difficulty talking? Speak, 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 times however many. Porn stars die too.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Okay, well. Let's see a well. Nice view. Stairs. Same picture from the living room looking place. I hear the beginning of like a club song or something. Well,
See,
this
like,
looks
this
familiar.
is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Version 2, alright. Where's the furniture? What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? A giant hole in the ground. Okay, now what about along the wall of the room? A huge picture of a horse. Okay. I think we should light up this room a bit. Tesla coils in the corner. Close enough. And a table. You need a table. Tables were invented in 1935. What?
Oh.
Hello?
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
Sure is. Table in the way. It's a
So,
labyrinth.
okay, he
made of
throws it out and
furniture.
starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Okay. Hello, please walk forward. Escape any prison environment, follow the instructions carefully.
I like how it said any prison environment.
First, click on this table. And now go to the photo frame. Turn it off and turn it back on. Is Sarah yelling at you from the other room? Huh. Return. Okay. And that does. Okay.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape. Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think
We're
it's
in the
awful
well
to
here.
watch this.
Alright.
To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense
back to
against
those.
yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Or like just walking outside in the middle of the night. That looks like a bus stop. And the lamppost again. Oh, it's a phone booth.
Phone booth. What is this?
The TARDIS?
Hello, Bill and Ted?
Hello, who is this?
I can't look around.
You're me? So you were trapped in this prison too?
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone.
That's
to
where
share
I'm
what's on
right
his mind,
now.
And to get some good advice from someone who
I'm
knows.
so glad to know how to get out of here
But
eventually.
the irony
What's
is
it
that
like
even
to
in this
escape?
scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Why? Is there anything about it that you felt good about? Being here sucks. I do that too, I guess. But is that just how it's gonna be forever? I'd really like to change that. Wait, if you're me, then how'd you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? Then can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? What? That will free me? How does that work? Okay, I can talk. Let's just talk for a bit. Will you be here?
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
Indeed.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself? To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Climbing up Red Mountain, whatever it was called. You know, I actually like the people. They're kind of weird, but cool.
Oh my goodness. I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. I thought I might be having to clean this entire house by myself. And right miserable would that have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on.
That's the story, little one.
From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Oh. Pedro. You're saying that was going back outside. Oh. Ah, neat. This is almost basically telling me this guy was like lonely as hell. Which I can definitely get that. Make it especially cheesy.
I mean, I feel like each one of these conversations, it's like a positive answer, kind of in the middle of the road, and then like I'm a douchebag answer.
Well, apparently didn't want to make it extra cheesy and skipped it. Why is this so oddly interesting to me?
I don't know. I mean, I'm about the same way.
Like, we're diving
After the
into the
intense
mind
set
of this
prison
guy.
games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful. I know that Coda really liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was, like, grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
I mean, I'd go with B. There is a bit of truth in that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
Found some peace in having a friend. Whether it was one he made up
But,
or just...
of course, it
whatever.
can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
And then this light again.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it. This one gets a bit goofy.
We're in a study hall now.
College lecture room.
Okay. Okay, we moved.
I liked my other seat better. Gosh. We should stop doing that to me.
I'm sorry.
About halfway through the game, the perspective shifts.
Whoa! We're gonna go ahead and cut it
And you
here.
play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now.
Okay, we're gonna cut it here though.
Just be chopping.
You can click on the Eye of Sauron there to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yep.
Holy crap. Bye, everybody.